Hello world, welcome back to my channel. My name's Paul. We're home now, but we spent the last couple of days following the Seaway O'Connor pipeline down from Kalgoorlie. We saw a few other things, got some great footage, but for now, let's roll the intro. Morning. Now we're at the famous Kalgoorlie 2-up school. This shed's been the same shed for 100 years probably. Guys come here, and 2-up's considered the fairest form of gambling because it's just 2 coins, flip them in the air. If it comes up one of each, nobody wins, but if it comes up heads, one guy wins, tails, the other guy wins. So it's considered the fairest form of gambling in the world, and people come here. You can only gamble on Sundays now, but even in my day it was every day except Thursday, and Thursdays were shut because that was traditionally payday for the miners, so at least the wives could fill the fridge before the men came and lost all their money here. So I'll put the drone up, I'll do a bit of filming around here. So here we are at the Mount Charlotte Reservoir. This is where the Perth pipeline, the Seaway O'Connor pipeline ends. I'll explain more about Seaway O'Connor on the road back to Perth, but for now let's go and have a look at the end of the pipeline. Okay, so this is the end of the pipeline here. Comes all the way from Mundaring Weir in Perth. And it's not a modern thing. It was done quite a long time ago. I don't know the exact dates, but I'll know them before I tell you the story on the way to Perth. It was considered one of the engineering wonders of the world. All gravity fed all the way from Perth. Now we're at the top of Mount Charlotte. This is the Mount Charlotte Reservoir. Carries 9 million litres and supplies all the water for Kalgoorlie. Morning, we're just getting packed, ready to head home. Isn't that sad, heading home? It's been a fun week. We'll get a lot of footage today. There's a lot to see between Perth and Kalgoorlie, and we might stay in Meridian tonight. We'll see how we feel when I get there. But for now, I've got to pack the car. Hey, this is Questa Casa. It's the last of the famous Kalgoorlie brothels. We're on Hay Street, one of the most famous streets in Western Australia actually. The brothels have been tolerated for over 100 years, and they were the first legal brothels in Australia. And you can actually go and do tours here, but this is the famous, it's called Questa Casa now, but it was always known as the stables because the girls just sit in these little doorways and guys walk past and take their pick. Now we're in Coolgardie. Again, same as Norseman in the last video. I've sat here 40 or 50 times at least. I used to sleep inside that tree over there when I was stuck here, but you know, that's, again, I watch all these YouTubers that complain because they've had to wait an hour, and anywhere in this outback, it's a day at least. I've sat here 3 or 4 days, like I said in the last video. I won't repeat myself, but I just wanted to show this. That's Coolgardie just over there. Yeah, people don't like to pick you up because from here it's 2 or 3 days to Adelaide, and if you get stuck with someone that's an idiot, so that's what makes it so hard hitching here. But I loved hitchhiking. That was my chosen way of travelling when I was a kid. I first came to Coolgardie when I was 7, and my whole life this old building here was derelict. We've just pulled up today. This is their first day open as a cafe, and they've really done this building up well. Beautiful. So we're going to go in there and have some breakfast.
Welcome to our first day at the Crim Hut in Coolgardie.
Well, we've finished breakfast, we're on the road again. It really was a yummy breakfast. If you're going through Coolgardie, that's where I'd advise. The roadhouse used to have really good food, but there was not one single truck parked there today, and that's always a bad sign. So, but I'm glad we ate there. Make sure you check them out. Now we're in Southern Cross. Southern Cross is the centre of the Yilgarn Shire, which I believe means white rock in the local Aboriginal language. So talking about all the quartz in the area, a lot of it gold bearing quartz, which is why Southern Cross is still a thriving little town now. It was originally gazetted a town in 1890, and it was a big part of the trip to Kalgoorlie. A lot of guys, 600 kilometres from Perth to Kalgoorlie, and a lot of people just arrived from England, bought a wheelbarrow, put some stuff in the wheelbarrow and walked to Cal. And they were strong people back then. Imagine us doing that. Anyway guys, we're going to head into town. This is the Kalgoorlie water pipe here, I keep talking about. In 1896, C.Y. O'Connor got a grant from the government for £2.5 million, which was a lot of money back then to build this pipe. And John Forrest, who was the Premier of WA at the time, was very much on C.Y. O'Connor's side and was backing him all the way. But there was a lot of people that didn't believe it could happen, and there was a lot of talk of corruption and everything, where C.Y. O'Connor just wanted to help Western Australia. And when the water, he told them what day the water was going to arrive, and when it didn't arrive that day, he copped so much trouble from the papers and everything. And on the 10th of March in 1902, he rode his horse into the water at Rob's Jetty, which is just south of Perth, and he shot himself. And it was, people say it was the pressure of this. He also built Fremantle Wharf, which they said was impossible as well. He was a really brilliant engineer. But also, to build Fremantle Wharf, he had to destroy the limestone crossing that crossed the Swan River, and it's the local Aboriginal people, the Noongar tribe, believe that they sang him to death, and because he destroyed their crossing. But either way, it's a very sad story, because this pipeline has been supplying water to the goldfields for 118 years, and it's made Western Australia what it is today. And behind me here, that's the Meridian painted silos. I got some good drone footage of it, even though it's a bit windy. I'll show you that now. It's 4:30. It's about 2 more hours to Perth, but we thought we'd stop here. We're at the Cunderdin Hotel, and for the Australians here, you can remember the Ettamogah pub, which was a long-running cartoon in the Post magazine here in Australia. There's a couple of replicas been built around Australia of the cartoon hotel, and this is one of them. So we've just booked into the room. It's nothing flash, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's a nice clean room, comfy. I'll go and put the drone up, get a few photos out the front, show you the Ettamogah Hotel. Well, I couldn't put the drone up yesterday because this is a no-fly zone. Must be an airstrip close by. And I thought it'd be better light this morning for taking photos and things, but you can see it's raining. Terrible morning, but we've had real luck on this trip. This is only, apart from when we were driving into Esperance at night, this is the only rain we've had for the whole 10 days, so we've been really lucky. Anyway guys, this is the Ettamogah pub. I'll put a link down below to some of the cartoons for you guys overseas that don't know what the Ettamogah pub is. Well, we just stopped at Claytons Store in Meckering, get some information on the earthquake, and we were really lucky because Digby over here, the best place to see the fault lines on his property, so he's going to take us out there. So we'll see you there. And this is the inside of Claytons Store. Hey, this is the main damage done by the 1968 earthquake in Meckering. It was a 6.5 magnitude earthquake. The LA earthquake in 1994 that did all the damage was 6.7, so this was a massive earthquake. There was just nothing here to damage. So we just had a big look over Digby's property. Most of the damage has been bulldozed over, but this is just off his property. It's the tallest part of the fault line. The fault line runs north-south, but across Digby's property it went east-west. So most of it pushed up like it has here. I'll show you on the drone shortly, but in his property it spread apart. So they had these 200-foot deep trenches all through their property that they had to fill in because they were losing too many sheep. Well, that was a fun 10 days. A bit sad it's over, but we've all got to make a living, back to work. Thank you for following us along on our little adventure, and I'll leave links to everywhere we went in the description. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe down below. Give me a big thumbs up, maybe say hello in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video.